Lincoln's name and legacy are well known throughout the world, but they are especially meaningful in Illinois. His career as an attorney and his entry into politics both have deep roots here in central Illinois. He even has a special connection to this university. As a young attorney, Lincoln worked with Jesse Feld to draw up the legal documents that helped establish what was then known as Illinois State Normal University. With that university connection in mind, it's fitting that Drs. Nerida, Ellerton, and Ken Clements of the Department of Mathematics are here to announce their discoveries about Lincoln's oldest manuscript, his ciphering book containing arithmetic problems from his school days in the 1820s. It's also a pleasure to welcome Daniel Stowell, the director of the Papers of Abraham Lincoln, a documentary editing project dedicated to identifying, imaging, transcribing, annotating, and publishing all documents written by or to Abraham Lincoln during his lifetime. Please welcome Drs. Ellerton and Clements.
For the past 4 years, Ken Clements and I have been working at the intersection of two histories, the history of school mathematics and Lincoln studies. While carrying out our research into the history of school mathematics in North America, we have visited many major archival collections, including those at Harvard, Yale, Columbia, Phillips Library at Salem in Massachusetts, College of William and Mary and the Rockefeller Library, both at Williamsburg, Virginia, University of North Carolina, University of Michigan, Library of Congress, New York Public Library, and the London Metropolitan Archives and Guildhall in London, England. We worked in the archives of Houghton Library and Harvard on about 6 separate occasions. We made systematic searches of the Hollis catalogue, identifying, requesting, and examining every North American ciphering book that we could see listed. During one such search in 2009, I found an entry that said, Abraham Lincoln exercise book fragment, and requested the item. And yes, when I lifted the folder from the storage place among the other students' handwritten work in that box, archival box, and examined the fragment, I trembled. There in front of me was a leaf in Abraham Lincoln's own hand, prepared when he was almost 17 years old. Abraham Lincoln's ciphering book is easily the oldest surviving manuscript featuring Lincoln's own handwriting. When we first located the leaf, we assumed that its existence was common knowledge. The exciting discovery in 2009 by researchers from the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum of a half leaf at the University of Chicago that matched a known half leaf at Brown University, and the documentation is in the other display there, drew attention to the 10 known leaves. But when we examined the copies of the extant pages of the ciphering book shown at the beginning of the collected works of Abraham Lincoln, that was published in 1953, we realised that the Harvard leaf was not among the 10. It was not there. In fact, the leaf was donated to Harvard in 1954. So for the past 60 years at least, it has been traditional wisdom that only 10 leaves of the ciphering book had survived. Without saying any more, I'll hand over to Ken Clements.
Again, thank you, Dr. Everts. Thank you for all coming. As Nerida said, she and I have been working at the intersection of the history of school mathematics and of Lincoln studies for several years. I think our most important contribution to this intersection is our identification of an extra leaf, 2 pages, of Lincoln's ciphering book. Although Harvard University has been aware that it held a fragment of an exercise book prepared by Lincoln, no one has previously linked that fragment with the other 10 extant leaves of Lincoln's ciphering book. Overall, our analysis revealed that given the rough circumstances in which the future president prepared his ciphering book in Indiana, its creation represented an extraordinary, we mean that genuinely, an extraordinary personal achievement. I'll now hand over to Daniel Stroud, Director of the Papers of Abraham Lincoln at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum at Springfield. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you. Well, it's a delight to be here from Springfield, and on behalf of the Papers of Abraham Lincoln, I'm delighted to learn of this 11th leaf to the corpus of Lincoln's oldest manuscript. More importantly, we thank Professors Ellerton and Clements for their careful work on these historical resources and their careful reassembly of the manuscript. Their expertise on the teaching of mathematics in the 19th century is vital to a fuller understanding of this enigmatic text from teenager Abraham Lincoln's pen. This collaboration provides another example, I think, of how expertise in a wide variety of subjects can illuminate the documentary record of Abraham Lincoln's life. We can only be experts on so many things, and mathematics education is not one of mine. Professors Ellerton and Clements have much to teach us about this document in its proper context, and I look forward to their scholarship on it. Thank you.